Hi there, good afternoon. How's it going? This is the island of Thassos. Out there you can see the mainland of northeastern Greece and the city of Kavala out there somewhere. Today is Thursday, September 12th, 2024, currently 80 degrees Fahrenheit, that is 27 Celsius, a nice warm day, and I am getting out to explore this island that looks very nice. You can see perhaps it is more green, more trees than the other islands that I showed in previous videos. We are in the far north Aegean Sea here. So today is most likely my only day to explore Thassos. I was here yesterday but was busy working on the video editing. I got a vehicle. So there is a rental car office over there which was closed. I think it is just closed for the season. And then there was another place, the only other one, Mike's Bikes, which has motor scooters and quads. They wouldn't rent me a, two-wheel scooter because I don't have a motorcycle license. That is the case all throughout Greece. And so they could only give me a quad, and it's super expensive. It was going to be 90 euros for a quad, which is $100 US. I managed to bargain them down to 70 euros. That is $77. It is a big one. If they had smaller ones, that might have been less, but this was my only option if I want to see the island. So I'm just thankful that there was something, because at first he said, we don't have anything, and then I was literally going to be stuck, like just couldn't get out and see the island other than taking a bus, and that's just, going to take you to one spot. I want to, really explore. So anyways, it is happening. So I have some lunch here, some pastries and cheese and crackers. Going to munch on that, show you what I got here. Very tasty looking. So munch and then cruise. Let's go see Thassos. So this is where I bought the, I guess you can't call these pastries, whatever you call these, tasty looking treats. And so I came back here to munch. So let's give it a try. The cherry, ooh, it's cherry on chocolate cake. Oh man, this is gonna be super rich. It is very good. And then I don't know what this is, but looks good as well. I guess that's sort of a chocolatey thing, unless it might be like a coffee. Whoa, that is a good one. Oh, that's amazing. And then some Gouda cheese and some crackers and some milk. So I popped back into my hotel to drop off the leftover food there. Going to show you how close it is to a very nice beach. And so, as you saw the price at the beginning there, I finally found a genuinely great deal on a room on this trip to Greece. So, as people have been noticing and commenting, the rooms have been pretty expensive. Some decent deals around like $60, but some have been as much as $112, I think, was the most expensive place that I had. This is where the ferries are going across to Kavala. I will very likely be taking one of those boats tomorrow. I need to explain why I am leaving this lovely paradise island when there is a lot to see. We're only going to see you know, a little bit of it today, especially with the quad instead of a car, because it's going to be more cumbersome driving the quad. But anyways, as for the prices of the rooms, prices have just gone up in Greece. As most of you know, I've been coming here for years, and it wasn't that long ago, 5-6 years ago, in which I could easily find a decent room for, you know, 30, 40, 50 euros consistently. But it has just been the case the past couple of years. I guess COVID, inflation in general, Greece getting more popular, probably a combination of factors. I use booking.com mostly, and then I'll check other sites, Agoda, Airbnb, and it's just the way it is. Unless you make a point of traveling in off-season, or just like really choose your locations based on finding the cheapest deals or whatever. But a lot of places there's just limited selection, and what I've been showing is basically the cheapest rooms that I could find online. There is the option of like just showing up and then looking around for a room, but I'm not into that anymore. So the arriving here 2 days ago is one example of why I wouldn't want to be just showing up here and then having to look around for a room. But in general, I just want to have it booked. You know, I got my backpack to be like walking here and they're full and they're expensive, yada yada. The brilliance of online booking is you can see the photos and read reviews and all this kind of stuff, and have a good idea of the room when you book it, and not have to show up and like be wandering around, you know, trying to find the hotels and all that kind of stuff. It's worth paying a bit more, in my opinion. And then also just to have something secured, know that you got it, it's waiting for you when you arrive. All right, let's cruise. So this is Scala Sotiros Beach, just a 5-minute drive from where I'm staying. As you can see, the water is a bit more churned up here, as opposed to the beach in front of my place there that was so nice and super calm, glassy, which I prefer. But a nice peaceful spot here anyways, so I am headed up that way. Now, yesterday I did some research online and found various places to visit, and then I took a screenshot of the Google Maps of each of these places just to remember the names. So we're going to something that is up there that is also called Sotira or Sotiros, something like that, but I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's like some kind of ruin, something like that, but we'll find out when we get there. So there on top you can see it says in Greek Sotiros, and then I'm not sure what this is saying, but I would guess either population or elevation, both of which sound possible. 380 meters would be about 1,000 feet. There is the sea down there, or maybe population 380. Anyways, so I don't know what we're gonna see here. Maybe it was just this village, which is very, very quiet. So I wanted to talk about a few different things in this video. One is I wanted to mention a bit about the Greek language. I will get to that later. And then I want to tell the story of arriving here 2 days ago. But first, wow, really nice old stone church. And so I wanted to explain why I'm leaving Thassos tomorrow after only one real day of exploring. Disaster zone here. And also most likely leaving Greece. So The reason is the Schengen situation, which I've explained before, but very quick encapsulation. So you get 90 days within the Schengen countries of Europe, which includes most of Europe now. That is 90 days within 180 days. And leaving doesn't reset it. You can only go back for another 90 days after 180 days have passed. So I entered Europe last spring, April 16th, which means that the 90 days resets for me on October 14th, so next month. I spent a little more than 2 months in Europe in the spring, and then I had 24 days left this time before that October 14th date. So I entered Greece August 31st. 24 days later is September 23rd. And as I mentioned, today is September 12th, which means that I have about 11 days left to stay. But a friend of mine wants to meet up and see Greece. She has never been here before, and I've been talking it up. But she applied for a passport, and even though it's expedited, apparently it's going to take several weeks. This was a couple weeks ago that she applied for the passport. Really classic old village here. Somebody living here, it looks like. So she applied for the passport a couple weeks ago. It hasn't arrived yet. And so if I use up my days now and then she gets her passport in like a week or something, then I'm going to be out. And then I can't come back until October 14th or so. And so I think most likely what I'm going to do is leave Europe in order to save those, 11 or 10 days or so that once she gets her passport, then she flies out here, we meet up, and then I have 10 days left to explore Greece with her. And so I was checking all kinds of options, flights, buses, etc. So Bulgaria is just north of here, but Bulgaria is now Schengen. It wasn't the last time that I was there 2 years ago, but it just became Schengen this year. And so that won't work. Besides, I've been there twice and I like Bulgaria a lot, but there isn't a whole lot that I know about that I want to see there. So I am basically thinking of most likely Turkey, Cyprus, or Egypt. I don't want to go too far if I'm going to just come back to Greece. Probably fly into Athens and meet my friend there. And so there are flights. There's some direct flights like from Thessaloniki to Egypt, but bad times like arriving at 1 in the morning, and then they're a little expensive, like $250. And then flying to Istanbul is surprisingly complicated from here because there's an airport at Kavala right across the sea there, but not many flights from there. And then Thessaloniki, there are much more flights. Really cute village here. But then there are limited direct flights to Istanbul from Thessaloniki. I might have to fly to Athens and then a flight. But then I was like, wait, let's look on the map. Istanbul is only a 6-hour drive away from here. So the much simpler, more straightforward, and cheaper way to get to Turkey is just cross the border. The border is literally like 2 hours away from Kavala. From there, catch a bus, probably to Istanbul, and then likely a flight from there because I've been to Istanbul lots of times. And so I can then catch a flight very cheap from there to other parts of Turkey. And so I would likely go spend, you know, a week, 10 days, something like that in Turkey, waiting to hear back from my friend. And hopefully she gets her passport and then come back and see a little bit more of Greece. So that's all for now. There you can see the pier right where I was standing in the previous video clip. And then again, mainland Greece out there. So, all right, Kyoto village. Let's go see more of Thassos. So I need to get down there. Looks like there's a walkway there. Here we have an interesting statue. And so while I walk down there, a quick Greek lesson. So, hello in Greek is yasas or yasu. Yasas is the more formal, yasu the more informal. Now, I'm sure that most of you know, but of course they have their own alphabet, and there are similarities and differences to the Latin alphabet. So there you can see an A and an H, a B, a P, but then there is that which is not in our alphabet, and various other letters. And so it is a little confusing because some letters are the same and have the same sound that we use in the Latin alphabet. Some of these same letters have a different sound from what we use in the Latin alphabet, and then there are different letters. So, yasas, yasu, hello. And then, thank you, efadisto. And thank you very much, efadisto poli. Good is kala, kalo, kali. You can say very good, poli kala. Good morning, kalimera. Good evening, kalispera. Now, I thought that this meant both good afternoon and good evening. And so when I introduced some videos in the afternoon, I said kalispera at the beginning, and somebody commented saying kalispera is not good afternoon, it is only good evening. Good afternoon is like kalo something else. But then when I filled up the gas in the four-wheeler, the guy said kalispera to me, the Greek guy, when it's like 1 in the afternoon. So maybe somebody can clarify. Does kalispera make sense at this time of the day? And then good night is kali nikta. And then there's the word parakalo. And parakalo is sort of please, you're welcome. It has like multiple meanings. Like people will answer the phone and say parakalo. You arrive at a restaurant and there's a greeter there and they will say parakalo, meaning you're welcome, come in and I'm going to show you to your table. Okay, back at the four-wheeler. Let's get going and I will tell you some more Greek down the road. So this is a nice bay and beach, Platanas Beach, and the town out there is Scala Marian. As you can see, not too crowded now that it's mid-September. And so I'm now at what looks like one of the best things to see on the island, Giola. We will find out what Giola is soon. So Giola Greek Tavern there, and then where we're going. By the sea. but not exactly the sea. And so some more of the Greek language as I walk down here. So endaxi. Endaxi means okay. And kind of like parakalo, it has multiple uses, but it's like an affirmative. You're talking with someone, they're explaining, you know, directions. Go this way, and you can say endaxi, endaxi, okay, understand, I gotcha. Or, you know, just a general, you know, it's all right to do such and such, endaxi, okay, fine. And then one phrase that I know, then ine pola ala ine arkata. This means it's not a lot, but it's enough. Kind of random, but then means not. Ine means it is. Then ine pola, a lot. It's not a lot. Ala means but. Then ine pola, ala, ine arkata. It is enough. So then means not. Xero means I know. So you can say, then xero means I don't know. Then before the xero means you don't. All right, I think that it is right here. Lots of people. So you can see people in the sea. So you can go for a swim there, but there is something else. And then water, narrow. What a great spot. Despite no beach, but lots of places to relax on this nice smooth rock. All right, here we go. The Giola Natural Pool. So notice the color difference, green, blue. Looks very deep. No idea how deep, but I guess deep enough to jump from here. Okay, so shallowish water, I guess. Not super deep, apparently. Oh, that feels so nice. No idea how deep it is, but it is plenty deep apparently. The water here is so different. Unfortunately, I forgot my swim goggles. I wish that I could see better. It is so deep, so fast. Oh, amazing. The watercolor is phenomenal. All right, let's get cruising. That was super fun. So a couple of other Greek words. Yes is ne. No is ohi. And then there is the most famous of the curse words. I'm not going to say it, but I will say it starts with a mal and ends with an aka. All right, let's start the drive back and make some stops along the way. And this is Silly Amos Beach. A nice one, but very crowded. Thassos definitely seems to have lots of great beaches. So there are the crowded ones, and then there are the much less crowded ones. Every couple of minutes as you drive along, you see another beach. Some nicer than others, but some very nice ones that didn't have many people on them. And a nice church here in the town of Potos. Let's go take a look at the beach here. Park the four-wheeler. Let's walk on down here. Take a look at the scene and the beach. And as I walk, I thought that I would tell the story of getting here 2 days ago. So, as I showed in my last video, then I left Lemnos Island on a ferry, and then I kind of explained what happened in a text screen at the end of that video, but I'll elaborate a little bit. So I was on the ferry, a 4-hour ferry ride from Lemnos to Kavala, the city on the mainland of northeastern Greece. And from there, then there was a direct ferry to Thassos right near where this first ferry would drop me. And so the ferry from Lemnos was going to arrive in Kavala at around 4:30, and then the next ferry to Thassos was at 6:30. And so we got to Kavala. That ferry was a little late, but got there between like 4:30 and 5, something like that. But it was raining. It was all wet. It was just kind of sprinkling. But I figured everything out as far as where to get the ticket to catch the next ferry at 6:30. And so I went to... I'm looking for somewhere to get a look at the beach here. It's all restaurants in the way. So I had, an hour and a half to wait, and so I go to a nearby restaurant, get a beer, kick back there, and then I walk over to the ticket office to get the ticket, and there's a lady there and there's a sign, and the ferry is canceled because of the rainy weather. But then she says there's another ferry which I knew about at a different location. And so that is about a 45-minute bus ride away. And so she explains how to get to the bus. So it's a bit of a walk, 15, 20 minutes to where that bus leaves. The bus is leaving in like 10 minutes, so perfect timing. Get on that bus, and it drops us more east along the coast, basically straight north of Thassos here. And then there's a ferry there ready to go. So the ferries there go every 30 minutes instead of every couple of hours because it is a closer ferry. So the ferry is waiting, get on the ferry. Takes a little while to take off, maybe 30 minutes. And then the ferry ride is around 45 minutes to an hour. We get to Thassos Island here, but there are a couple of issues. It is pouring down rain, and where that ferry takes us is different from where the other ferry would take me. So the whole reason that I booked the accommodation where I booked it is for convenience, because it is literally a 5-minute walk from where the ferry would have dropped me. But this other ferry drops me a 20-minute drive away. It is now dark, it is raining, and there were lots of people on that ferry because of the canceled ferry, and so lots of other people had done the same thing. And so we get into that town, and there are taxis around, but they pick people up, and then there's a whole bunch of people waiting and no more taxis because they're all just super busy. And it's pouring down rain, and there's nowhere to wait really if you're actually going to be able to get a taxi, because you need to be in this one spot to hail the taxis. And so it takes a while there. Finally I get a taxi. It gets me over to my room there, and I get checked in. But that was at like 9:30, so that whole thing delayed me like 2 hours probably, but it all worked out in the end. But as I said at the beginning of the video, if my plan was just to arrive at the island and find something, to have arrived there 9:30 at night, raining, dripping wet, super tired out, to then have to walk around knocking on doors of hotels would not have been fun. And so that's just one example, but for lots of other reasons, I just prefer to have my accommodation booked most of the time. The good news is the weather forecast looks nice, and so tomorrow I will most likely be taking that ferry back to Kavala, and I should be able to just walk out there, catch the boat, get going. All right, so another nice but very busy beach here, and water not so great, especially right here. All right, let's cruise. This is Scala Kalirachis. Not looking like a great swimming spot here. Okay, beach, but the water, for some reason, very mucked up. A lot of variety in the water quality here. I mean, at that very cool pool, the water was just ultimate. I guess this is maybe more of a fishing village or something. Not many restaurants along there. Quiet spot though. So that is going to do it for this video. 10 minutes more to go to get back to my hotel, and then take a break this evening, or rather get to work. Anyways, that is all for Thassos. A very nice island, much more to see, worth coming back. We'll see maybe another time. Have a good one. Happy trails.